I personally think that the most interesting part of EU4 is in the 15 and 1600s when you have the religious wars and you start snowballing like absolute Schnitzeldorf. That's why today we're covering our Spanish campaign, and you'll find the links to the previous parts in the description below. To catch you guys up a little bit, we basically started as Castile, we formed Spain, snaked around the North African parts, we have our Syrian vassal, we got our Burgundian vassal, as well as we have quite a few colonies in the New World. We have the Protestant League on one side, we have the Catholic League on the other, and we're gonna join the Catholics because we plan on staying Catholic in this run, and we want our Catholic brethren to win this war, of course. This is essentially the first world war, historically speaking, as it basically involved all of the continents, more or less, if we include the colonies of the various countries involved in this war, and it absolutely ravaged the world. If you enjoy history, and World War history in particular, you're gonna enjoy today's sponsor, World War Armies from Hype Masters, a real-time strategic war game. This mobile game has the feels of a true PC RTS, featuring amazing 3D graphics, precise unit control, and the unique playstyle of a real-time strategy game where two players go head-to-head in PvP using authentic World War II vehicles and infantry. World War Armies features multiple nations to choose from. Right now the choice is between Germany and the USA, with the new nation coming in the global release. You can choose engineers, rangers, Jaegers, and tanks, each unit having unique features. Some can heal, others do tons of damage, and you can also upgrade them. There's also unique generals with skills and abilities such as launching airstrikes. This is a PvP game, so your skill is what matters when battling other players from all over the world. The game with new content releases globally on June 30th, today, so click the link in the description and get the M8 Greyhound tank together with tokens immediately after the tutorial. And since we are by the border with the Ottomans, we're also going to be attacking them so we can get back some of our claims from them, as well as, of course, just basically bully the Ottomans. We're bullying the Ottomans. That's the reality here. That's what's really happening. I just noticed the Ottomans are also on the Protestant League side, and the Venetians alongside the French. This is not going to be that easy, actually. It really is basically half the world against the other half of the world. But obviously we're going to win. I mean, I'm the one on the Catholic side, so there's no chance for the Protestants. It's going to be a little bit of a tough peace deal here because I want to take the entirety of the coastline, including Adana kebab, but I cannot because I want to also release Karaman, and if I take Adana, I'm just wasting a lot of Diplo points and aggressive expansion, to be fair. Since I will release Karaman from Ichel, that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's go with the peace deal. Now, we'll be releasing both Karaman, and we're going to be releasing Eretna as well. Dariago 1 and Avekle 2. So in the next war against the Ottomans, we feed half of the lands to Eretna and the other half of the lands to Karaman, meaning we get basically no aggressive expansion, and we don't need to worry about using our admin points for this stuff because Eretna and Karaman will, whilst we just take the rest of the things that we don't have cores on from our vassals. Let's also do our concentration so we lower the overall development of these parts. And to avoid the overextension penalties for being over 100, what we'll be doing is we're going to give Karaman one of these provinces, the one in Teke. It's a small price to pay for the fact that we now have, I guess, 98 overextension, meaning we don't get the -1 stab events or all of the other horrible events that we would otherwise. Excuse me, what the schnapps, Hassinai Federation? How dare you declare on my vassal? By the way, guys, this is an easy way of helping out your colonies. So I've seen this in the comments a lot of the times, people asking, how are your colonies not getting killed by the natives? Because the natives attack and you cannot help them as the overlord unless you have your capital in the New World. You click on Enforce Peace, click on your vassal over there or your subject, and if they reject, and they always reject for some reason, you know, because they think they got the big balls to fight me, but they don't. And yeah, if they do reject your enforced peace, then you are automatically set as the war leader against these nations. We're defender against the Hassinai, which means that we can use our armies in the New World to completely screw them up and destroy them. It's also time for another war against the French. And you know what? I'm also going to co-belligerate Provence because I want to take some provinces from Provence as as well. Can I for once not reach 70-something% when sieging down provinces? Is it too much to ask for? In the recent patch, the thing that really makes me cringe so hard, especially in the mid to late game, is the fact that the provinces are super high development. I mean, the AI is developing like crazy, dude. Look at this. 11 times province in Chacha was developed. 9 times, 10 times, and it's basically every French province was developed around 9 to 15 times. Not to mention monstrosities like freaking Metz developed 22 times. Looks like Canned Peaches over here hired the free company. Is that their way of saying that they want me to make a guide for their country? Canned Peaches video confirmed. Maybe I would choose them for my Mayan video. Who's to say? So far, I've actually been extremely peaceful in the New World. I didn't attack anyone. They simply just attacked my colonies, and I was defending myself, okay? It's self-defense. Wait, what? Brittany has colonies in the New World? I didn't even notice. When? When did they get colonies in the New World? Okay, they don't even have 5 provinces yet, so if I attack them, I can just take that stuff for myself. But I guess I can let them colonize a little bit more, and then I take their colony afterwards. The last of the French troops getting massacred here by my brave Burgundian boyos. Gonna take me a while to actually integrate Burgundy, so I'll postpone this for the time being. We're not in a rush with integrating. Well, we kind of are in a rush to integrate them, aren't we? We do have a small bit of a coalition after we've annexed France, but hey, you know what? I really don't care about this coalition. Come at me, coalition. Come at me. I'm waiting for you. Oh, hey, they actually are coming at me, boys. That means I'm gonna have to attack the Mamelukes before they also join the coalition, so let's declare this war now. Booyah, Shnakadoskadoski. Yeah, we got quite a few provinces we need to take from the Mamelukes anyway. Wait a second. Did I just see Kazan joining in that? What the schnaps? Why does Kazan hate me? I didn't even touch your lands, bro. Why do bad things always happen to the nice people, man? Oh, this is bad. Okay, the Commonwealth joining in the coalition actually might trigger it now that I'm at war with the Mamelukes. Let's see. So considering that basically the entirety of the world is in a coalition against us, except the ones that we have a truce with, because we have a truce with them, otherwise they would also be in that coalition. We don't have much we can do right now, so I'm just gonna focus on the New World essentially to expand in here. I'm also gonna be trying to fix my economy and start integrating some of my vassals. You kind of get the feeling you expanded a little bit too much when the one province minor of Nogai also enters in a coalition against you. La 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 la. Alright, so we actually waited for a few years now. Now we're going to be attacking the Ottomans in a few days. Once the truce is over, I got my Diplo Boyo back here. Let's go. Nice. Avec le Warski. Let's set up one of the cores here. Tokat. Tokat looks like a pretty... Oh, what? Timurids are in this. And they're allied to Anhalt out of all the nations imaginable. Timurids apparently are not dead. So, interesting to see that. They're also in a coalition against Ming. Wow. Ming must be massive in that case. I'm curious what happened in Asia. And of course, nations in the New World are keep on attacking my Armenian subject here, and I keep on raffle stomping them and taking their lands. Wait, what? The Ottomans have 13,000 units? That's it? Oh, right, because they got their asses kicked by the Commonwealth and they lost all of their possessions here. Well, most of their possessions here. Okay, seriously, I'm not even making this crap up. Why is this up to 85% again? And this is a freaking level 1 fort. I mean, what is happening in this game, man? It's really gonna be a pleasure dismantling Anhalt, especially after what they did to my beautiful Brandenburg. Even Rupen exists and Brandenburg doesn't. I have a strong suspicion that the League War is about to start, and because of that, I'm gonna make my peace with the Ottomans. I really want to be a part of the League War so I can have that big First World War experience, if you know what I mean. I'm taking the cores. I actually have all the war score that I need for the cores. I can even take a little bit of extra money. There you go. 84 whole ducats. So much money, unbelievable. And as expected, there you go, boys. The Palatinate just declared war on Austria, and we are now at war with half the freaking world. Oh, okay, this is actually a lot less nations that I was expecting to be at war with. Oh, we're gonna win this easy mode, man. I thought the Commonwealth was on their side, not on my side. But yeah, I also did the peace deal fast because I knew that I would be at war with the Ottomans again. Guess this is the world's easiest world war. When when you think about it, historically speaking, this actually happened, right? And this absolutely ravaged the entirety of the European continent and the world, actually, because in the colonies, this was fought as well. The amount of death for what? For just how you interpret a specific book. Instead of working together and making sure that we make a better world for future kids, we fight because of things that really don't actually matter in the end. And you know what? I'm not religious, but if there is a God, I'm pretty sure that he would not be okay with us fighting over how we interpret his word. I also realize I'm not the war leader of this war, so I cannot peace out nations whenever I want to. I gotta wait for Austria, who's the war leader on my side, to peace out nations. Oh great, some of our administrators fled the country and literally told everybody around the world what's happening in our country. Fair enough, now everybody can see what we see apparently. Which doesn't really make any difference because the AI already knows what you're doing. This is more of a multiplayer thing, to be fair. Oh, what? Austria made Anhalt release Brandenburg? Oh, my beautiful Brandenburg. Look how beautiful it is, everyone. I can probably vassalize them, can't I? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I just need to get closer to them border-wise. So I attacked Napoli to relieve the siege, right? And the Neapolitan army, instead of actually helping me out, they decided to ignore the attack, which means that I'm obviously going to lose the battle now. I hate the AI. Oh, wow. The Austrians actually gave us provinces from the Ottomans, and they made them release Dulkadir. Oh, bruh. I could actually diplo-vassalize Dulkadir, but do I really want to? That's the question here. Have you not heard of the famous Commonwealth against Venice battle that took place in Naples during the Austro-Palatinate War in which Spain was involved? Oh my god, what do they even teach you kids in school nowadays? Oh, and after they got Stackenvapenicum, apparently, all of the Venetian army, that is. Oh, I love this, boys. We can recruit the Redshanks, Scottish mercenaries fighting for the Catholic crowns of Europe during this war. You know what? I'm not gonna recruit them. I don't need mercenaries, but it's just a small little interesting event that pops up during the religious war that I know some people were probably not really. Oh, we got the comet. Look at this, boys. Look at this. Because we have Carlos de la Cerda, which is our production efficiency natural scientist. Instead of getting -1 stab, we get +1 stab or 50 admin if we already have 3 stability, which we already have. So keep that in mind if you hate stab events, okay? Get a production efficiency guy. The entirety of the European continent is seriously getting a reshape after the League Wars. I mean, look at, for example, Saxony. They went from just a few provinces to having a massive amount of lands. Austria gave them even Braunschweig. Same goes for Köln, which got provinces in Gelre and Berg and many other nations that were on our side. So remember, always join the side of the winners, okay? Oh, but Ludi, how we know if it's a winner? You find out at the end. And it looks like we actually won the war, which was very obvious that we would win. That means that Catholic is now the official faith in the HRE, and all of the nations that were in the coalition before against us have left. So we now can only have Catholic emperors and Catholic electors, and the emperor can use the enforced religion CB on nations that are not Catholic. So we're gonna be saying bye-bye to most of these nations very, very soon. Look at all these bad boys leaving. Haha. I love it. I freaking love it. All right. And because we're also a Catholic empire, we get the +1 missionary strength and tolerance to the true faith after winning the Protestant League War. We're also going to have a couple of wars around the African land, so we get a little bit more trade power for our trade companies here. I feel like I was going to declare war on somebody, but I forgot who I was supposed... Oh, I think it's Dulkadir. Yep, it sure is Dulkadir. Let's go with these boys. Completely forgot about them, actually. And I just noticed how big Yemen is. I mean, Yemen completely raffle-stomped all of Ethiopia and the small little nations here, and they're still expanding. They have Warsagli that they fully occupied, and I feel like Yemen has great ally potential. Let's try and get that alliance so we secure our southern flank here in the Egyptian lands after Mamluks is gone. I plan on fully annex them eventually. And a little bit of assault ski. Let's consolidate ski. Nice. This way we can peace out Kong, and we're taking their southern provinces, which are a part of the Ivory trade node. These two at least are a part of the Ivory trade node, nothing else, so we're taking just those two as consequence. There's a fort here that's going to help out a little bit as well, and let's core it up. Now we can piece out the rest of this alliance set, and I am going to be fully annexing them. This way we have a strong foothold here. I'm going to delete this fort since it's in a savanna, and we also have gold mines in this area, so we can start ramping up our gold production as well as start our next war against Jolof, I guess. Let me bring the troops there first. So apparently, because there's some pirate activity in the Caribbean, we have the choice of releasing ourselves and playing as New Providence. I already did this in my Portuguese playthrough. You'll have a link to that in the description if you're interested in. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make sure that they hang for this, and the nation of New Providence is going to be long gone in a few momentos. We're going to use our Reconquest of Core CB on them because it used to be a province of Caraibas, of course, so we have that core. If we let the pirates alive, that's going to be a big issue, so we don't want to keep them alive. Otherwise, they're going to ravage those areas. And yes, I got 141 overextension, so I'm going to deal with this first and foremost before doing any more wars. My favorite part is how no matter when I declare war in the New World, I can always rely on the Neapolitans arriving in the New World to help me out. I'm getting the feeling that Naples regrets that they don't have their own colonies and they're just compensating for that. Finally, our North American colony has come to be. Let's give it a proper North American name here, and we're gonna have to grow this bad boy as well, so we're gonna kill off all the natives around it and the English around it. The United States of Armenia have definitely grown, but we still have a few extra nations here we gotta get rid of. Nobody lived here before, okay? When we arrived, there was no natives, I promise. Truce is over with the French, so let's go ahead and attack them as well. We attack with the Colonial CB actually, because I don't have any claims. I forgot to get claims on France again. I would normally say, can we get an F in the chat for the Ottomans, but I don't really think anybody wants to give out an F for the Ottomans, do you boys? I'm starting to like the fact that I got personal unions, because look at the amount of troops that Burgundy fielded, and not only that, but they're kicking the French's asses. So Brittany has a colony in South America that I want to take, but I don't want to get the aggressive expansion for taking this colony, and I also want to take their lands in Europe. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be fully annexing all the proper Bretonian lands. That means the lands that they own directly, which include all the provinces in Europe, plus one province in the New World. They have one province that they own directly in the Caribbean colonial parts. So you can see here, you need 5 provinces in the same colonial region in order to have a colonial nation form, because they don't have 5 provinces in the Caribbean, they only have one. They directly own this. So I'm going to be annexing this one that they own directly plus everything else, which means that their colonial provinces, or the colonial nation that they have, become my colonial nations. So that's why I got Bretonian Columbia here as my 5th, 6th colonial nation. I don't know. I have a lot of them at this point. And boy, look at all those claims we managed to get now because of this. Hey, everybody. The Age of Absolutism has just triggered. That means that we got the Win Religious War already, because we won the Religious War. And all we need next is to get some universities, trade companies, which is easy for me to get. I've been putting off the trade companies because I want to culturally convert and religiously convert the North African parts. Afterwards, of course, I'm pushing them down to trade companies. You don't need to do this, by the way. I just do it because I personally like to have Castilian Catholics all over the world. Click this button here and it's going to assign every single province that is not a stated province to the trade company. And there you go. Because the trade company already has above 50% of the trade node, we got an extra merchant from the Tunisian trade company. Looks like Liège is about to enforce. Let's kill them off. Completely forgot about them. When making your Moroccan trade company, remember that you do not want to unstate the Tafilalt area, because this is where you have your gold mine. So you can make trade companies out of all the provinces with the exception of these 3 provinces here, which will be a state. You get more money out of this area if you do this. I vassalized Karakoyunlu because they got a ton of cores here, so I'm getting back their cores from the Georgians, and after I'm gonna get the rest from the Ajami, since Ajam also has the southern tip of Iraq that I'm interested in. You guys know that historically speaking, Trebizond was a part of Castile, right? I mean, this is common knowledge, I think. It's kind of ironic how I've basically conquered pretty much most of the New World without even having exploration ideas. That's right. We only have the one colonist from our national ideas. We didn't go for exploration, expansion, nothing. And we still have all of Central America, parts of North America. Granted, we need to work on that. And the Caribbean Caribbeans as well as the Colombian part. Truthfully, I don't even care about South America because aside from the gold mines in Peru, South America's income doesn't really transfer that much. You can see from the trade notes here, most of the income anyway goes into the Ivory Coast or in the Caribbean, and because we control both the Caribbean and the Ivory Coast, this also gets transferred into the Sevillian node, my node. So even though the English have South America, the money from South America comes to me, not to the English. The problem is the North American money does go to the English, and that's why my main focus now is going to be to get rid of the English from North America, and also to finish conquering these areas because I completely forgot about this land altogether. They're much cleaner North American parts, or Central American parts actually. Believe one last war against Xalisco and all these boyos here, and then everything here is actually ours. Aztec Conquest, permanent claim on the Mexico region, sure. Oh, I forgot to build a workshop in Havana, ooh la la. Way better borders now with Jollof integrated into our country. It means we get another merchant now since we have again 50% in the Ivory node. I actually thought that we only needed to get these areas, right? But we need to get even a Mixqueco and Nicoya here. So doing the Mexican mission is not as easy as anticipated. Although, is this really part of Mexico? I'm not even sure this is a part of Mexico. Alright, now we should really be done with this mission. Let's see, did we get it? Yes, we did, boys. Mayan conquest, 500 ducatin, and Viceroyalty of Spain. We just... Okay, really? We need one more province? Fair enough. I guess we gotta get rid of the rebels first, because I've expanded super fast, and my colonial nation here is struggling to core up all the stuff that I've been giving it. But hey, on the bright side, they now have 40,000 units and they have a lot of income, albeit a lot of expenses as well. I also love the fact that because I'm privateering the English channel, every single treasure fleet that the English get from their South American colonies, I'm getting a cut of that. I'm getting 25% almost of every single treasure fleet. So look at this, boys. Oh, sorry, 28% of this is privateered by me. And aside from the flat amount that I'm getting from privateering, those extra treasure fleets make me ridiculously rich. And I'm not really doing much for it. I just have some of my light ships in that node. That's it. And you know what? Since the Scottish are still alive, I might as well use this as my foothold into the British Isles, right? The Scottish have actually been colonizing the Ivory Coast as well. So taking these provinces from the Scots is going to make my life a lot easier also. Looks like it's out of the war ski for the Scots. I don't even see the difference between my color and Scotland's color here. I'm secretly trying to blend in. Hopefully nobody notices, eh? The sneaky French actually managed to get some colonies in South Africa that I didn't even notice. So I'm gonna take these in the war. But before we do that, we also have to peace out Milano. I'm gonna make them my vassal because they have a ton of cores around here. Look at all these juicy cores on Venice and on Genoa. I'm just sitting here waiting for this fort to fall, and I'm wondering, why is it not falling? This is like the 6th time that this freaking fort was actually at 78%. It took it 6 times on 78% chance to fall. That is really pissing me off right now. 500 days, but hey, at least we made them Catholic again. They were reformed before, so that's gonna bring us back to tier 5 religious defender of the faith. No, not yet. We need 13 more nations to bring back to tier 5, which is likely all of the HRE when you think about it. All right, now the Milanese, as I was saying, we're gonna make them our religion and our vassalin. Dariago, welcome to the vassal swarm Milan. Happy to have you on board. And look at my beautiful new borders in France. I literally just need to take a few more provinces. I think one war is enough actually for the rest of this, but I'm not in a rush because I have to manually integrate the Burgundians, and I cannot form anything without integrating the Burgundians, sadly. I have everything else. Well, I guess I need to take the Italian parts too, so I don't really have everything else. Time to once more exploit our tax development, and we are doing this because in the 1600s, your income's gonna come from production and trade, not from tax at all. Wait, what? I just noticed my general's name is Balboa. Rocco! Come on, Rocco, take that siege! I want you guys to take a really good look at the difference in income after I build workshops compared to churches in the 1600s. For example, in Caceres, I'm getting 0.7 ducats flat just from that one province here, and this is from a province that has 10 production development, and it is producing glass. There's provinces that give more than that for 10 production, depending on the trade goods that they have, and from building here, the workshop, and then after even building the manufactory, which is the equivalent of 5 production development, by the way, 1 manufactory, we essentially make a massive amount of income just from this one province. So you scale this up with all of the provinces that we have, especially the high-end goods provinces, and we're essentially getting hundreds of ducats by playing toll in a way, even though obviously we're pretty big right now, but you know, we're still kind of playing toll, okay? Just don't think about it too much. And my personal highlight is the fact that I'm getting massive amounts of money and massive colonies in the New World, even though, look at this guys, I don't have expansion exploration. I went diplomatic influence, so I have an easier time integrating my vassals because I have a lot of vassals and subjects. And I'm also letting the Commonwealth expand. I've even tried to feed them some smaller nations that are easy to attack so they get big and blobby, because I need some sort of a challenge for the end game, okay? Otherwise, the next part, once we get 10,000 likes, by the way, is gonna be pretty boring if there's nothing to challenge us in the late game, right? Of course, we still have the coalition around, but they're not as strong as the Commonwealth is by comparison. So you know what to do if you liked the video, and until the next time, check out the awesome Synthetics versus Prussians video. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.